Hello, Namaskar, good evening. This is Balneet Singh Bedi, and I welcome all of you to the daily news analysis session by Tathastu ICS. Good evening, Roshni, Mansa, Rishi, Sonali, Amrita, Suresh, Samreen. Good evening, everyone. Let's start our today's session. Under means Manthan, we have two important news. The first news talks about the urbanization and the challenges of ideal transit solutions. Now, the name of the editorial itself is indicating that this editorial talks about the challenges which India is facing with increased population and non-sustainable urbanization and non-sustainable public transport system. As you all know about the tier 1 cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Bangalore, Hyderabad, all these cities, though they have large population, but जो public transport system है, that is not sustainable. That is still too much old and it needs revamping as well. Good evening, Hussein. Then we will see the challenges to the ideal transit resolutions and what government of India is doing in order to rectify this so that we are able to achieve our goal of Viksit Bharat. Now, Viksit Bharat, by which year we have a goal to reach by 2047, right? Then comes the next global gender gap report. Now we will see who releases this report, where does India stand, the ranking of India as well as the gender parity. What is the percentage of India here? And again, there was a PYQ on global gender gap report as well. So we will be solving the PYQs along with the discussion, right? Then comes the next under prelim Sarthi. We have International Atomic Energy Agency. Now, IAEA has been in news due to the Iran nuclear sanctions, and today itself it was there. As you all know, the yesterday Air India plane crash. Our heartfelt condolences to all the bereaved families, the victims of the attack, the victims of the tragedy, and because of that there was not much news in today's paper, so all important news have been covered. Here IAEA, I'll be covering accordingly, and I'll be telling you that there are two PYQs based on IAEA as well. What is IAEA? When was it established? What is the primary aim? What is the legal status? What is the role? We will be seeing only from the prelims perspective, right? Then comes, yeah beta, see, the tragedy has happened, but we are waiting for the black box to see and to let us know that how this incident has happened. I hope you all know the black box and all, right? So the first editorial which talks about the urbanization and the challenge of ideal transit solutions. The first Y in news, urbanization challenges and strategies, then covers the GS1, that is Indian society, and GS2, governance and social justice. Then comes the first slide, that is urbanization trends and mobility challenges. Urban India will become the engine of economic growth by 2047 as per the Viksit Bharat mission or vision. Now, as per UNDESA, that is United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, India's population by the year 2060 would reach 850 million. That means 850 million people would be living in urban India or urban centers, and this would contribute around 75% to India's GDP. By which year? By the year 2060, right? Moreover, as you all know, the urbanization, the increasing population in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Calcutta, all the major cities, that is facing the sustainable public transport problem. Hussain, Mamta, Charita, please just focus here. Then comes the next. By 2060, over 60% of India's population is expected to be urban. This puts enormous pressure on urban mobility and public transport infrastructure. जैसे जैसे बेटा population बढ़ेगी, वैसे वैसे उनकी demands भी बढ़ेंगी. Resources are limited. In order to use the optimum utilization of resources, we need to control the population. As you all must have seen, as per UNFPA or United Nations Population Fund, if you are reading the newspaper day before yesterday, on the front page, the population has been projected around 146 CR, right? This is the population, and as per the current fertility rate or the total replacement level fertility rate, it will increase to 170 CR by next 40 years, and then again it will be reduced. It will start reducing because our fertility rate is 1.9 and replacement fertility rate is 2.1. This is just the revision of what was there in the news. Indore, I'm sure it is tier 1 city, right? Then comes Indore would be tier 2. It would come under tier 2 beta, right? This puts enormous pressure on urban mobility and public transportation infrastructure. Then comes the shortfalls in the current transit modules. The smart cities haven't matured fast enough, hence tier 1 cities continue to expand unsustainably. We all know, see, if I tell you the data of the buses, again, this is not mentioned. All the information, all the previous data which I have shared in the previous slide, all this is not mentioned in the editorial part, but I am telling you as a value addition, as the extra facts which you can write it down or which you can learn, and you can write it for your mains as well. So buses, if we talk about buses ratio, we have around 1.2 buses per 10,000 people, as opposite to UK, which is having 18 buses, and Seoul, which is having around 20 buses per 10,000 people. In India, just 1.2 buses per 10,000 people. Here, editorial is also saying कि सरकार का बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान मेट्रो कनेक्टिविटी पर है, रेल कनेक्टिविटी पर है, e-buses पर है, but is it sustainable in the long run? Editorial is saying no, it is not sustainable. We need to look for other alternatives. Now, which are those alternatives? The tramways, the trolley buses, which we will be seeing in the upcoming slides as well, right? Then comes the despite efforts, urban transit infrastructure remains insufficient. The first only 35,000 buses including e-buses are operational, while how many we require? Around 2 lakh buses, and presently we do not have even 50,000, that is 1/4. We are even having less than 1/4, that is just 35,000 buses. Then only 37% of urban Indians have easy access to the public transport as per the economic survey. Now see, look at this example. In Swachh Bharat mission, 2 lakh crore has been allotted, but not even 25% of these funds have been used in order to build the sustainable modes of ट्रांसपोर्ट. 2 लाख करोड़ तो है, बट 25% भी उस फंड का ट्रांसपोर्ट को सस्टेनेबल बनाने के लिए अलॉट नहीं किया गया है, राइट? वन मोर एग्जांपल यू कैन राइट. वी हैव इंदौर, वी हैव रांची इन झारखंड, इंदौर इन मध्य प्रदेश, बट बोथ दीज सिटीज, they are under Swachh Bharat mission, but again they lack sustainable transport for the longer run, right? Then the China and Brazil have less than 50% of the access, which I have shared here the example of UK as well as Seoul. Then comes the next, government initiatives. Now what are the government initiatives? What government is doing? Government has brought PM e-bus Seva payment security mechanism for urban bus improvement. So basically this is the initiative which the PM has brought, e-bus, that is electronic bus, जिससे कम pollution होगा, so we'll be able to control the climate change as well as the global warming. Then comes the PM electric drive revolution and innovative vehicle enhancement. We need to procure around 14,000 new e-buses, 1.1 lakh e-rickshaw, e-truck as well as e-ambulances. Again, all this is just data, right? Focus also on metro rail expansion, though cost recovery remains poor. Now look at this example, metro rail expansion. You all must have seen the metros in Lucknow, in Jaipur. So these cities, they have developed the metro rail connectivity by spending more than 3,000 crore rupees. 3,000 crore rupees. But very few people are taking or are using the metro in these cities. Why? First, there is less connectivity. There is not proper connectivity there. And second, maybe due to the fare intensity as well. So, जितना इन्होंने एस्टिमेट लगाया था, नाउ सी, अगर कोई 3,000 करोड़ सरकार खर्च कर रही है, उसके पहले बेटा, वंस यू बिकम आईएएस ऑफिसर, इट वुड बी योर ड्यूटी एज एन ऑफिशियल उस पॉलिसी को अच्छे से 360 डिग्री से देखना, उस लेंस को लगाकर देखना एंड अंडरस्टैंड करना कि अगर हम मेट्रो में 3,000 करोड़ लगा रहे हैं, कितनी जनता ट्रैवल करेगी, कितने लोग ट्रैवल करेंगे, कैसे टाइमिंग्स होंगी, कैसे कैसे कनेक्टिविटी होगी, कौन से स्टेशन पे ज्यादा लोगों का ट्रैवल होता है. ऑल ऑफ दिस नीड्स टू बी मेड. सो एज पर the officials projection in these two cities, only 10% of them, only 10% of the public is using the metro. But if we talk about the Delhi thing, in Delhi, metro is the lifeline of Delhi because of easy connectivity, less fare, less time, air conditioned metros. So people prefer this over the road transport because also of the intense heat waves which are going on the present month, and even when it is winters or summers or the monsoon, people prefer to go by metro, right? Then comes lower than expected ridership. I've told you this. Higher fare sensitivity. I've told you this. Poor last mile connectivity. I have told this as well. Then cost effectiveness and sustainability of the alternatives. Now the current focus, as I've told, editorial कह रहा है कि भाई हमें मेट्रो नहीं पे ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट करना, हमें रेल पे ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना, हमें ई बसेस पे ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना. Rather, we need to invest where? We need to invest on trams, on trolley buses, right? Up trams, it's being used only in Calcutta. As you all know, Calcutta is famous for the tram system. But even in the present scenario, this tram system of Kerala is demanding funds, repair, and good maintenance, right? It is demanding the good maintenance as well as all of these things, right? Then comes the trolley buses are overlooked. Hussain, PM doesn't sit, beta. PM doesn't sit and formulate the policies. It's not his work to do the research and development, right? PM's job is, you will go present a file to the PM that these are the policies, this is how we are planning to implement. The bureaucrats who sit, who work on it, and it's the order which the PM gives, which the CM gives to approve the order, to pass the order, to get it implemented. Again, that is the work of the bureaucrats. But ones who are seniors, they cross 50 age or 55 age or 60 age with their experience, they sit and frame these policies. So PM doesn't sit and frame the policies. I hope I'm making it clear to you, Hussein. Right. Then comes life. Which attempt are you giving, Hussein Saifi? Which attempt bit are you planning to give? Next year or next to next year? And I believe you're a student of Tathastu as well. So then comes the trams, 45% profit over 70 years. The trolley buses, minimal loss. So basically trolley buses are very much famous in the Russia as well as Switzerland. Hussein, beta, which attempt are you planning to give? Like next year or next to next year, 2027 or 2026? So the trolley buses are very much famous in the countries like Russia and Singapore. So we can also adopt the model, not in all the major tier 1 cities, but we can adopt this model where we can adopt this model maybe in Shimla or in Gangtok. Why? Because these are the hilly regions. They are the capital of Himachal Pradesh as well as the Sikkim, right? So Shimla and Gangtok, both these places are the capital, and here okay. So Shimla and Gangtok, these are the hilly regions. So there we face the gap in the metro connectivity, right? It's not easy to connect the metro in these regions, so we can have trolley buses over here as well. Then e-buses are facing 82% of losses over the 70 years due to high operational and replacement cost. Even the private investment remains low due to the poor returns in the urban public transport. Then comes the strategic urban transport insights. The first developed nations heavily subsidize the public transit, that India lacks the fiscal bandwidth for that. India के पास भी बेटा limited funds हैं, right? Now it has to use those funds very carefully, very optimally. Kochi's tram revival. Even Kochi is planning in Kerala to revive the tram, and if it would be implemented properly and effectively, it would be very helpful for the nation as well. Important to prioritize last mile connectivity, multimodal integration, and life cycle cost viability, right? Then comes the next, that is global gender gap report. Anyone who releases the global gender gap report, beta? Anyone? So global gender gap report is being released by World Economic Forum, right? Now it covers your GS2, that is governance and social justice. Now the first slide talks about the India's ranking. So out of 148 countries, India's ranking is 131, right? Good, Charita, very good. So India ranks 131 out of 148 countries in the year 2025. India's gender parity score is 64.1 percentage. Only this much data you need to remember. How many countries? 148. And what India has achieved, which rank India has achieved? It is 131. Gender parity score is 64.1%. This all data is of the present year, that is 2025. Then comes the comparative regional ranking. This is just for your understanding, mentioned in the news. So I am making you study this, but again you do not have to learn all of this. The first slide is important, that I have told you. Then comes the India is among the lowest in South Asian region. How South Asian region? Bangladesh is the best performer, rank 24, parity 77.5 percentage. Then comes Bhutan 119, Nepal 125, Sri Lanka 130, Maldives we have 138, and last Pakistan. Pakistan is just at the bottom of the list, that is 148 rank, right? Then comes the next, that is the key takeaways from here, that is the four parameters, four key dimensions which are being considered by the Global Gender Gap Report, which is released by the World Economic Forum. Now this is important. UPSC might ask you the dimensions as well, because once it has asked the who releases Global Gender Gap Report. So we will just be seeing very quickly. The first one talks about economic participation and opportunity. On the basis of this, it gives the rank to the country. Then comes the educational attainment, then comes the health and survival, as well as political empowerment. So all these four dimensions Global Gender Gap Report covers while defining or while giving the rank. Hussein, that is not important from the exam perspective. The Somalia, the Chad, the Sudan, I'm sure their ranking must be far below, right? Afghanistan as well. See, from the UPSC perspective, all you need to know is rank. UPSC will never ask you about Sudan rank, Chad rank, Pakistan, or any Pakistan. It might frame a statement, right, just to confuse you. But again, these countries are not important, so do not get into unnecessary detail which are not important from the UPSC perspective, right? Otherwise, you can read the entire report of Global Gender Gap thing. But again, you are not here to do PhD, है ना? I hope I'm making sense to you. You are not here to do PhD. All your job is to learn the fact, warm it up, learn in the exam, and learn only from the syllabus perspective, PYQ's perspective, and move on if you want to become an officer, if you want to clear UPSC, right? Then comes the question, the PYQ which has been asked in the year 2017. Now quickly tell me the correct answer of the same. Krishna, I just told you it's World Economic Forum, right? Sonali, Vaishnavi, Malesh, No Name, all of the other people have given the correct answer, that is World Economic Forum. Now, one of the student was asking me about the black box in the aircraft. So, what is black box? So black box in a aircraft is a electronic recording device which is used to investigate the accidents, investigate the incidents. Though the name is black box, but it is typically bright orange color. Why orange color? As you all must have seen yesterday, after the plane was crashed, it was all black, as in सब कुछ black था, and in order to find out the black box, orange would be a uplifting color. आप सब में से ऑरेंज कलर को डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हो. easily locate कर सकते हो. That is why the name is black box, but its color is dark orange, bright orange, right? And it will help in the aid of recovery or to investigate the accident. Now black box has two major components. The first component is flight data recorder, and second component is cockpit voice recorder. Now first flight data recorder, how would it help? A flight data recorder जो है बेटा, वो सारी टेक्निकल चीजों को रिकॉर्ड करता है. एयरक्राफ्ट की स्पीड कितनी थी, उसकी हेडिंग कितनी थी, उसकी नोज की लेफ्ट कितनी थी, राइट, इसका ऑल्टीट्यूड कितना था, कितना वेट था, रिक्वायरमेंट, all of that is being recorded in the flight data recorder, and it can record up to 25 hours plus time. Means पिछले 25 घंटों की फ्लाइट का जो भी पूरा ओवरऑल सिस्टम था, that is recorded there. Now second is cockpit voice recorder. All the conversations between the pilots in the cockpit as well as their conversation with the air traffic controller, all is being recorded. Now after the incident, black box would help to investigate that why the Boeing 787 Dreamliner from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick Airport would have been crashed. Now all of this we would get to know with the help of black box, right? Then comes the PYQ, we have discussed, that is World Economic Forum. And then under Prelim Sarthi, we have IAEA, that is International Atomic Energy Agency. Now what is it? What is IAEA? International Atomic Energy Agency is an intergovernmental organization. Yes, it's a saffron color or an orange color, right? Good, Hussein. Yeah, Hussein, because it has been made like that so that it can sustain any big explosions as well, right? It has been made that way. That is why it is being safe during the high fire or the explosion or the blast, right? So it is an intergovernmental organization for the peaceful use of the nuclear energy, right? I have defined what is it. Now when did it came into force? It came into force in 1957. Then headquarters is in Vienna, Austria. That is the UN office headquarters. Legal status, it is a autonomous organization. It's an autonomous organization within the United Nations. It reports to whom? It reports to UNGA as well as UNSC, that is United Nations General Assembly and United Nations Security Council. Then it's popularly known as Atoms for Peace and Development, right? Atoms for Peace and Development. Now comes the PYQ part. Now quickly solve this PYQ, beta. Quickly tell me the answer. Charita, Rishi, anyone? But if you are not doing PYQs properly, trust me, it's difficult for you to clear prelims. Malesh is saying B. Okay, so none of you have given the correct answer. It's absolutely fine. We have discussed this previously as well. The correct answer is additional protocol. The civilian nuclear reactors would also come under the International Atomic Energy Agency safeguards. So the correct answer here is A. Now I have one more PYQ for you that was asked in the year 2020. This is the beauty of PYQs, that they do get repeated in the upcoming years. Now quickly solve this question. In India, why are some nuclear reactors kept under International Atomic Energy Agency safeguards while others are not? Okay, D option is not completed, so you can ignore the D option, but out of these three, A, B, C, you can choose. This is, I guess, the half of the option is missing here. Okay, Sonali, Mamta, Vaishnavi, Hussain is saying C. Mansa C. Roshni, Charita. Rishi is also saying C. Vaishnavi, no name, C. No name, beta, no name, please keep a name. Okay, otherwise it's difficult for me to recognize or pronounce your name. So the correct answer is some use imported uranium and other use domestic supplies. So B is the correct option here. Good, Ananya, only you are the one who has given the correct answer. Rest all of them have not. But it is absolutely fine. If you have not done PYQs till now, start doing PYQs. They are important. They are the guiding lights. They show you the way, what to study, how much to study in a topic. If IAEA is there in the newspaper, I have shown you the PYQs as well. That means UPSC ask questions from IAEA. So with this, I am concluding the session. Yes, good. You need to keep a name, no name. Okay, change it tomorrow. So with this, I am concluding today's session. If you have any queries, anything related to the DNA or any other query, if you have, you can jot down in the comment section. I will try to answer your queries. So solve PYQs, Charita, Mamta, right? Next year you must be appearing for your prelims. Sonali as well. So try to do PYQs. Keep your syllabus handy. Keep your syllabus printed. Read the syllabus, then read what to read in the newspaper and what to skip. It will give you more clarity and it will show you the right path and make you work with the right strategy. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.